Welcome to this Google Drive screencast where we're taking a look at how to organize and access work with students. Specifically in this screencast, we're looking at how students can individually share files to the teacher as a way of turning in a project. This is really good to teach the younger students, probably elementary level, as they're learning Google Drive. It's good for them to know how to use the share button and share something directly to their teacher. So this is one option. We'll go over other options in other videos. Specifically for this, we're going to talk about when a student creates a file in Google Drive, they should stick to a naming convention. So here's an example. For elementary students, it's good to name the file with the grade and then the teacher's initial, then the student's last name, then the topic. So here's an example. If this student was Peter Parker would title his paper 6 if he was in 6th grade, S if his teacher's name was Smith, and then a space, Parker, space, and then if it was for Civil War, if that was the topic, that's what they'd put for the topic. The reason to do this way and to teach students to do it this way is it's so much easier for and efficient for the teacher to see all of the files and know whose file's whose, and also it allows for easily searching files out in Google Drive if you're trying to find a specific student's file. So naming convention again, grade level, teacher's initial, last name of the student, and then the topic. So that's for elementary. For middle school and high school, they can just do the class hour. So in this case, Luke Skywalker is the student. So Luke Skywalker would start his paper and he would do his class hour was 3rd hour, space, his last name is Skywalker, space, and then if it was a persuasive essay for language arts. So there's your examples. Let's take a look at what this looks like. So here I am as a student. We're going to say I'm a 6th grade student. I am going to create a document, and this student's name is Bruce Banner. So first, Bruce is going to click on his untitled document. Make this a little bit bigger so everybody can see here. And so this is a 6th grade student, so we're going to do a 6, followed by, we'll pretend that the teacher's last name begins with a V, so we'll put a V, space. We said the student is Bruce Banner, so I'm going to put Banner as my last name, space. And this is going to be a paper on imagination. So I'm going to click OK. So that paper is now created. Now the student can go to the share button. When you go into the share button, you click in the invite people box, and it's good to type the teacher's last name just so that the name comes up quicker. So I'm going to type Mr. Kafka as my teacher, and I'm going to choose Mr. Kafka's email address, making sure that's correct, and that's clicked and entered there in the box. Mr. Kafka as my teacher should always have edit rights. You can change this to comment or view, but we're going to make sure Mr. Kafka has edit rights. And because I'm a student now that is sharing this to my teacher, I'm going to uncheck this notify by email. This just makes it so that the teacher doesn't get 30 emails every time there's an assignment for a particular class. So please uncheck that. And then I click share and save. You will get a message that says you're not sending an email notification. That is okay, so just click OK. So now this will show that the student is the owner and that Mr. Kafka, the teacher, does have edit rights. And we can click done. So now Mr. Kafka can pop in and out of my document. He might leave me some comments. He might encourage me to do some different things with my writing. He now has access to this. So that's the student piece. Let's flip over to the teacher side and see what this looks like now on the teacher's end. So I'm going to jump over to Mr. Kafka's account. For Mr. Kafka as the teacher, all the files that get shared to Mr. Kafka go into the shared with me area. So we're pretending that this was a class Mr. Kafka was just running. He had all the students start a paper recently. They all named it correctly, as you can see here. So for Mr. Kafka, what he's going to do is he's going to want to put all of these in a folder so it's easy for him to go through these. So a good trick is, especially if all the students share the file around the same time, if you're first clicked on share date, this should group them all together around that time. Or if you sort by title, this will also bring all the files together. Or you can use your search, and if I know I want to search out my 6V imagination papers, again, this helps when the files are named correctly, and it's good if you can give a topic as one word, then this brings up all of the 6V imagination papers if the students spelled it correctly. Now what Mr. Kafka can do is he can click the checkbox on the first one in the list, hold down Shift and click the last one. This will group select, and he can choose to put these in a folder for himself. So if he wanted to make a new folder, so if I click create new folder, and I'm going to call this the 6V imagination papers, I can click create, and now all the papers are going in there. So for Mr. Kafka going forward, he just has to, when he's in my drive, he just has to go into the 6V Imagination folder, and he can jump in and out of these documents and leave comments for the students along the way. So that's one way, that's one option for students sharing to the teacher and then the teacher organizing those files. And we'll present some other options in some other videos. Thanks for watching.